You know, we all think we know the Christmas story. We've heard it a million times. But what if we looked at it through a different lens? Not just as an ancient religious text, but as a powerful, incredibly human masterclass in communication. It's all about how we react to impossible news, and the massive difference between asking a question out of doubt and asking one out of trust. Seriously, think about it. You get news that completely shatters your reality. What's your gut reaction? Do you immediately put up a wall, demand proof, protect yourself with skepticism, or do you lean in with curiosity? Do you ask, okay, how do we make this happen? That choice is right at the very heart of two incredible encounters we're about to explore. So our first story kicks off with a priest named Zechariah. Now, this is a man of deep faith, a good man, but he's also a man carrying a lifelong unanswered prayer. So let's set the stage here. Zechariah and his wife Elizabeth, they're the definition of pillars of the community. They've done everything right. They're described as righteous, blameless, but, and it's a huge but, there's this one deep, aching void in their lives. They're old, way past childbearing age, and they have no children. And in their culture, that was a source of profound sadness and even shame. Then, while he's serving in the temple, the impossible happens. The angel Gabriel appears and delivers the exact news he and Elizabeth have been praying for their entire lives. And this isn't some vague promise. No, it's incredibly specific. You'll have a son. Your wife, Elizabeth, will have him. And you're going to name him John. It's the fulfillment of his deepest longing. And his response, this is the moment it all pivots. He doesn't ask, wow, what should I do to prepare? He asks, how can I be sure of this? See, that's not a question that's looking for information. It's a question demanding proof. It's rooted in what he sees as the cold, hard facts. I'm old, she's old, therefore this is impossible. He's essentially looking at a miracle and saying, prove it to me. And just like that, the communication slams to a halt. The angel doesn't hear a man looking for a little reassurance. He hears doubt. He hears a challenge to the message itself. So Gabriel responds not with empathy, but with authority. And the connection is just severed. The consequence is, well, it's perfectly symbolic, isn't it? Because his words express doubt. His ability to use words is taken away. The very tool he could use to connect with his wife, to process this news, to share his eventual joy, it's gone. The channel is literally shut down. Okay, now let's jump forward 6 months for a total 180-degree contrast. The same angel, Gabriel, shows up again, but this time he's talking to a young woman named Mary, and the message he brings is, if you can believe it, even more astonishing. And when you put their two questions side by side, wow, the difference is everything. Mary is also told something biologically impossible is going to happen. But listen to her question, how will this be? She doesn't challenge if it will happen, she accepts the what and simply asks about the how. It's a question of process, not proof. It comes from a place of pure curiosity and trust. She's asking, okay, I'm in, what's the plan? And because the questions were so different, the outcomes are night and day. Gabriel rebuked Zechariah and shut him down. But with Mary, because she asked for clarity, he gives her this beautiful, poetic explanation. He meets her need for understanding. Her question, born of trust, literally opens the door for more communication, more reassurance. It keeps the conversation alive. And here's the result of that open-hearted conversation. Complete acceptance. Total partnership. She doesn't just agree. She consents. She offers herself to the process. She says yes. The communication loop is successfully and beautifully closed. But here's the beautiful part. This amazing moment of communication doesn't just stay a private experience between Mary and an angel. It immediately flows outward. It creates this powerful, powerful moment of human connection. So Mary rushes off to visit her relative, Elizabeth. Yep, the same Elizabeth who is now 6 months pregnant with John. And what happens when she gets there? It's just incredible. Before Mary can even explain her own astonishing news, Elizabeth knows. She feels it. Her own unborn baby leaps in her womb. She gives Mary immediate validation, immediate celebration. This is pure empathy. There's no questioning, just a shared, unspoken, joyful understanding. And you know, this is what happens when we feel truly seen, when we feel truly understood by someone else. Mary is so filled up by Elizabeth's validation that she doesn't just say thanks. Her spirit just overflows into a song, a powerful declaration that we now call the Magnificat. And this isn't just some happy little tune. No, this song is a revolution. She connects her own personal, humble situation to this grand, cosmic vision of justice. It's all about flipping the world's power structures upside down, lifting up the humble, scattering the proud, feeding the hungry, and sending the powerful away with nothing. Being truly heard gave her the power to find her own powerful voice. So you might be wondering, what about poor Zechariah? Is he still stuck in that silence? Well, let's close the loop on his story and see how that broken connection finally gets repaired. Okay, so 9 months pass, the baby is born, and at the naming ceremony, everyone just assumes naturally that he'll be named Zechariah Jr. But Elizabeth speaks up, no, he is to be called John. The crowd pushes back, nobody in the family has that name. So they turn to the still silent father. In this super tense moment, Zechariah signals for a writing tablet, and he writes 5 simple words. His name is John. And right there, that's the moment. The very instant his written action aligns with the angel's original message, the moment he finally demonstrates trust instead of doubt, his silence is broken. His voice comes flooding back. So what's the first thing he says after 9 long months of silence? Does he complain? Does he try to explain himself? Nope. Just like Mary, he explodes into song. He doesn't waste a breath. He moves directly from a state of broken communication into a flood of praise and prophecy, his own voice finally free. It's just such a powerful story, isn't it? 2 paths. One starts with doubt and leads to silence. The other starts with trust and leads to a world-changing song. And it leaves us with a really important question for our own lives, for our own conversations. When we're faced with something scary or unknown, what does it take for us to ask, how will this be, instead of, how can I be sure? What helps you make that leap?